This is the Washington Times front page for Monday, November 20th, 2023. Thanks for starting your week with us. I'm George Gerbo. The Government Accountability Office says the Department of Education approved millions of applications for President Biden's now defunct student loan forgiveness program without making sure the borrowers were eligible. Stephen Dinan reports GAO said the department was already poised to pay out 2 million automatically approved applications based purely on borrowers' self-reported income. The DOE said it structured the program to allocate relief with the least burden on borrowers. Officials figured the program was at low risk of fraud, particularly because they weren't sending payments but modifying student loan balances. The Supreme Court effectively shut down the forgiveness program in June. The White House is keeping the festivities for President Biden's 81st birthday low-key because of concerns about his age. Jeff Murdoch reports the White House declined to reveal the president's birthday plans. If he wins re-election, Biden will be 82 at his second inaugural and 86 when his second term ends. The next oldest president at the end of his term was Ronald Reagan, who left office in 1989 at age 77. A recent Yahoo News YouGov poll found that 54% of voters think Biden no longer has the competence to carry out the job of president. That was up from 49% who said that in February. 2 Republican lawmakers are calling for investigations into the former House committee on the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol after the release of additional security footage. Alex Miller reports Texas Representative Troy Nehls and Utah Senator Mike Lee are calling for the scrutiny. The calls began after House Speaker Mike Johnson announced the planned release of more than 40,000 hours of security video footage from the riot at the Capitol by Trump supporters. The footage will be released in batches over the next several months. The first round of about 90 hours of footage was released Friday by the House Administration Committee, which reviewed the tapes and authorized their release. NewsGuard, which ranks news sites to counter what it deems misinformation, received significant funding from a firm that represents some of the world's biggest pharmaceutical companies. Susan Friicchio reports one of NewsGuard's investors is Publicis Group, which represents some of the world's leading pharmaceutical and healthcare companies. Publicis was among a group of investors that provided $6 million to launch NewsGuard in 2018. NewsGuard's leaders denied any conflict of interest. They said the group's investors have never contacted them and have no influence over the company's rating system. And finally, Andrew Salmon looks at an alliance between 2 Taiwanese opposition parties to challenge the ruling Democratic Progressive Party. The alliance could have instantly made the forces favoring improved ties with China the frontrunner in a coming election on January 13th. Find all today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in your favorite podcast app. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.